chance.
Yo, what up? So, after already recording all of this one time, I'm now gonna go back through it again. So, I don't even think that I'm gonna put any music over it, to be honest with you. I'd like it to be a little more raw than that. So, you can hear, I bleeped out the cursing. Because, believe me, there's some cursing when you're fighting these hills. But,
Let's get it.
I hope you enjoy the video. This is our first ride at the Hulk. My buddy Nick and I got some bikes and said, let's ride. We haven't done it since high school. We used to ride a lot back in the day. It's weird saying that. I turned 26 this year, and I'm already saying back in the day, which is really scary. But we did a lot of riding. We used to ride anywhere from 15 to 25 miles a day. Just kind of BSing, having fun. We'd go hit the trails. There was a lot of trails where we were growing up in Northern Virginia, kind of the Fairfax area. So we do a lot of riding around there. They had different kind of like power line trails and it's very natural stuff. There's a couple that were paved, but pretty much most of what we were riding was all of the single track. That wasn't cut for single track, but it's like walking trails through the woods. So it's what we rode. And we decided to get back into it. It's good exercise. It feels really good to just be moving and having fun again. So I put the camera on Nick first. I wanted him to be the first perspective. I don't really know why. It just was what I wanted to do that day. So I strapped him up with the GoPro and sent him on his way. I decided to lead just because we have a tendency for me to lead. I ride just a little bit faster. Because I've been riding bikes a long time. I grew up riding with my dad, and we used to go to DC and just ride around all day on Saturday. Like it's always kind of been something I did. So I'm pretty comfortable riding even new terrain. And even some of the stuff at the Hulk has made me go, oh, that's a lot. Now, after the third or fourth time of going, it's not as bad. I think anybody who has a good head on their shoulders and knows how to ride a bike halfway decent would be more than capable of riding all of the Hulk. There's a few hills that will make you rethink your cardio, and there's a few trails that are really tight. I don't know why the bars on my Ozark trail are so wide. Twists and turns trying to wrap the bike around and split two trees. It definitely gets a little hairy, but for the most part the trails are all pretty reasonable, and obviously speed is the only thing that makes them scary. Oh, I forgot I almost wrecked right there.
Bro.
I caught my pedal up on the hill trying to get on. Got a little sketchy. Some of the turns and features can sneak up on you a little bit.
Right up this. Ah. Oh damn.
Once I started knowing the trails a little better, life just got so much easier. That I don't turn down the wrong track and lead us up a trail and then down another trail just to realize we're on the wrong trail and have to turn around and do it all again. That hasn't happened since the first time, so we've been a little better off. But this same hill has followed us the entire time. I've only made it up it once out of all of the tries, probably a dozen now, of us trying to get up it. And it just gets so steep. The camera does it no justice.
I don't think I would have made it that.
Not even 10 feet from the top, and there's still another 10 foot of climb. I think it's almost a 45-degree vertical climb. But it's definitely a good time.
Good drive.
I highly recommend to anybody who likes mountain biking.
Maybe down here?
It's located kind of outside of Carolina Forest area. In North Myrtle Beach by Robert Grissom Parkway and 31. It's not super duper populated, so try not to overcrowd it. It's kind of nice right now. You can ride and only see a couple of people. I'm sure it has its busy times, but I work during those hours, so here we are. Yeah, again, lots and lots of single track to ride. There's plenty of jumps and little
yeah.
Oh, we went the wrong way. Plenty of jumps and pre-built in, like tabletops and just little like dirt kickers pretty much built into the trail, kind of all over the place. The bridges that they have built are a great
we should start at this
practice
top of the hill.
For me to try and do tabletops and get comfortable clearing a particular distance. I've enjoyed those a lot. The rest of the tabletops, some of them are super steep, but most of them are pretty mellow, and with a little more speed and some confidence, I could probably clear them with ease. If you know how to jump, this track is going to be a blast. honestly, because there's everything is it's simple. Nothing is so like extraordinary that you have to like work up to it mentally. Everything, if you're already comfortable with just jumping and being in the air, then none of this is going to be anything that's like out of your realm of comfortability. You're just going to hit the track and go have fun.
Make it up
and nothing comes up so fast that you wouldn't be able to account for it with your riding. So there's not too much sand. There is a couple spots where it gets a little soft, and I'm pretty sure they do it just to slow you down, because normally it's right in front of kind of a tight curve or weird jump landing or something like that. But the trail system feels never ending when you're riding it. It just kind of wraps its way through the woods on every different direction. They've got parts where the trail's made of brick pavers. They've got it where it's like the turfy green carpet type deal. Some of that stuff is a little beat up, but it's all still really rideable. It's taken care of far better than most places take care of their stuff. So, and they've got excavators on site, like they work on these trails and maintain them.
Oh shit.
Ah, this is one of the fun drops. Nick crashes right here, I think. Yeah. I don't know if crashes is the right word. Almost crashes might be a better phrase. But anyway, we kind of come back through this same trail section, takes us right back to where that track was. Nick's seat's broken, so we got to play with that for a little bit.
I almost crashed going down that hill.
Do it again.
I'm dead. I'm dead, bro.
Helmet's a little hot.
Extremely hot. Seat's broken. We're up this fucking hill?
Yeah, and now we're back here.
Oh shit. Goddamn seat broke. I just fell off.
Beautiful. Kind of half-assed get that back on there. It wasn't fixed, but it was on there, so we kept riding.
Same move to seat down, because then it's just out of your way.
That one little drop, bro.
You like that?
Well, I made it. It was just that little ditch to the right.
Oh, with the sand in it?
The sand.
It's a landing pit to slow you down before the bridge.
I hit that.
Yeah.
Full brakes after that. I went straight on.
Get back up that steep hill. Hopefully you get a good perspective of how steep it is in that one climb, because it's definitely a tricky one. Foliage is really pretty. It's nice having all the leaves on the ground. It just makes it feel like fall. And it's super comfortable temperature-wise out to be riding. You're riding short sleeves and shirts and not even feel chilly. We're wearing snowboarding helmets, so you know it can't be too hot. Sun got right here. This was kind of the end of our first segment. Came and grabbed some water, swap out the cameras.
I bike, I hit my hands on the tires.
And I decided to throw it on my bar clip mount. I kind of regret this. I love how this section of footage turned out. Trails are fun. I actually take a little tumble, if that's of interest. On the bar, while it's on the bar mount, somewhere in these trails coming up. The bar mount was just a little too shaky. It also, of course, turns every time I move the bars. So a lot of little movements on these trails, because they're very technical in some spots, and it just jerks the camera around more than I wanted it to. I should have just done the chest mount and not even played with the bar, but it's okay. You live and you learn. I wanted to see what it would look like, and I'm glad I did, because now I know. And I think it has a place. I'd like to try doing reverse mount right there, so the bars are facing back at me, and see how that looks, just to try it. But we come down through this section called the roller coaster. It is kind of the beginning of some of the more fun trails, actually, from what it seemed like. It leads through the woods a bit, and there's a couple tabletops that they have just built right into the side of the trail. There's always go-arounds for those of you that don't want to hit these trails, but you know, the tabletops are all there. There's plenty of room to play. This is the kicker that screwed me. I landed just a little bit too far to the left. Could not recover. It happens to the best of us. Not that I'm the best. That ain't the truth at all. But probably should have thought about falling before wearing a perforated shirt, because then I got to dig leaves off my back for the next hour of riding. I just felt like I kept getting poked. But it's all good in the hood.
There's holes in the back.
Man, I didn't even jump that one. Gosh, we're moving so slow on our first time. Looks like we're just crawling down the trail. Some of these turns going uphill surprise you. You think you're just going to be able to like pump it out and swing up the hill, but nah, it don't happen like that. But we get moving again. Some of these curves, if you're not leaning in, you're going over, and that's the truth. They will screw you over if you're not ready for them. They've got these little like in the middle of the track. You just be driving, and then you'll hit a ditch, and basically drop in and jump out. But I feel like you can't get enough speed on the drop to pump back out because the exit is steeper than the entrance. So I gotta learn how to master those. They've been killing me.
That's a big crack. I see. The best not to be a spatter. I'd be upset. Okay. Hi, squirrel. Sandy, 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 Sandy. Yeah. If they didn't actually make these trails, they just wrote them in. Oh, yeah. Let's get in here. Too close to come. Nick gets you on my back. Oh. Oh, what happened? You alright? Alright. Pretty steep. A little decline right here. I think he got caught up on a stump. You live and you learn. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you live and you live and you live until you die. Here it comes. That's a beautiful sound. You lost a brake?
I lost my front. Oh wait, no, I got my front brake. No back brake.
So after Nick stumbled, his rear brake came unhooked on the frame. So I didn't notice that right away. He kind of just came up to me and was like, "My rear brake doesn't work," and I was like, "It's probably a problem. Let's go to the truck." I definitely should have just looked at the bike and I would have seen it immediately, but I didn't, so I just kind of wanted us to get to the truck so if I needed tools I could have them before I started playing with it. Anyway, so we ended up riding this next section of trail. Nick didn't have a rear brake, so we were kind of just taking it easy. Not that we were going too hard from the get, but they've got these, there's this one line that watching myself ride currently that I've now come to find is like my favorite line. I mean, maybe not my favorite, but it's a pretty fun little spot, and it's not really meant to be anything super crazy. It's just like a good 200 foot of downhill, and it starts off with a really nice little kind of one of those paver kickers that shoot you really high. There's not much of a landing, so there's that, but there's that one, and then there's a second one that actually is a tabletop, and then it ends with this like ridge between two trees, so you get to come in hot on the final one and just kind of launch up into the air, and you got to land flat. But then once you land flat, you come up on the next section, which is the quad. It's 4 tabletops all straight in a row, but they're the steepest freaking tabletops you will ever see. These things are trying to send you to the moon. You go up them, and when you're supposed to stand up to the jump, well, if you're standing up to the jump at the top of it, the bike is against your bars or against your chest to hold this line, because it just goes straight up in the air. And we were talking to these couple guys by the truck who were loading their bikes up, and he had just gotten back to riding because he was down after 8 months ago when he landed trying to do one of those tabletops, and he sent himself off into the trees and broke his collarbone. And I was like, nice. Guess I won't be doing those.
Probably retired the bike, dude.
Look at this thing. How's that feel on your computer coming across the jungle?
All I know is that spill hurt, bro. I went flying over my handlebars. Really, I pedaled down and the pedal got stuck on the on the crest of the hill.
Yeah.
And it just caught, and I went flying.
Well, it feels like inside foot needs to be straight back.
Yeah.
Outside foot straight forward.
Yeah.
And that seems to do an okay job.
Well, my pedals were like this.
Yeah, right. And you catch the inside or
Yeah.
all right, well, let's go figure that out.
Anyway, we kind of get back moving on the trails here, and we were trying to find, the new goal was to find this little track that they have on site called the Little Hulk. It's maybe, it takes up like a 30 foot by 30 foot square. It's pretty small, and there's there's those tabletops. Yeah, you can tell when I'm jumping down it. It looks like I'm jumping down a drop. But this Little Hulk is basically a 30 by 30 playground for kids with their bikes to practice their maneuvers, and you go like up a rock face and then down a little wood board, and then there's a wooden pump curve that goes into another little like hump. I don't know what to call those. What are they called? Just a straight up and down. Not really a jump. It's not designed as a jump. But like, it's kind of a whoop, but it's a really tall whoop. I don't know, man. I do too many sports to get them all straight. But we were trying to find that and just hucking through the woods, searching for different things that looked familiar. So we cut up into the track at that one part and kind of walked up into the woods and just started riding, and ended up right back to the pump track, or not the pump track, the tabletops where we ended. So I didn't really find it there. And it takes a little while to find the track, but it's a good little challenge. It's actually pretty hard on a full-size bike because the features are kind of small in reality. So every move on the bike feels like you're already out of your bounds. Like I feel like I can't keep the bike within this line, but it's like 5 feet wide. I don't know why it's so difficult. It's kind of funny, but I'm just afraid I'm gonna fall off the top of the little hump and not be able to recover. And I can't afford to break anything, so I gotta be kind of careful. But
super fun trails. Hey, this feels like where I went down earlier. Oh. Is this where you went down?
Yeah.
I finally get back behind Nick. It's kind of fun getting to watch him ride.
Oh shit.
Oh, there's a seat. Get to see how he does things, just because it's, getting to pace somebody else and see their style and see the differences between you and them. Like, what line did they choose? What line are you going to choose? Are you going to follow? Are you going to try and create your own? It feels funny to me, like you naturally just fall into their line. Even if you would have taken a different one on your own, maybe it was even faster. But you just, like, when you're watching somebody ride, you just want to go the same route they went because it makes sense. It's like monkey see, monkey do. And it really comes into play when you're biking. And honestly, maybe that's actually, come to think of it, maybe that's why Nick likes being behind me. It's because then he has a free line to follow, even when I start to ride a little quicker. Because I feel like I'm generally kind of on his heels when I ride behind him, just because I want to keep up. But only other things, you guys let me know in the comments what you think. The GoPro was mounted upright on my chest mount, and I feel like it didn't have enough angle to lay flat and keep the footage flat. It's because I feel like, you know, you lean over pretty far on the bike. So next time I'm gonna try flipping it. It won't be next time video that you see. It will be like 2 videos from now before you see an adjustment. But if I flip it over, I think I can hang it farther forward and maybe get a prettier angle, and it'll be a little lower, but who cares? Anywho, this was one of our last runs through here because Nick had lost his seat. Yeah, Nick lost his seat by that point and was no longer enjoying having the metal rod poking up his butt. So we made our way back kind of towards the truck, and I jumped off real quick to go confirm my suspicions on where the little Hulk were, because I felt like I knew where it was, but I needed to confirm it. So I made my final attempts, and that was pretty much our first day. But as we're wrapping up the video here, I just want to invite you guys back to check in. This was our first ride. Neither of us really knew what we were getting into yet. Wow, that was a shitty wheelie. Neither of us had any idea what we were getting into yet, and both just wanted to experience the Hulk. We had both been talked to about it by different people that we needed to go check it out. So that was our main, objective, was just to see it and actually visit it. We didn't have too much time, but and the times we go back, we know the trails much better, so we're definitely moving much faster. And we also take his little brother to, there's the little Hulk, the one little glimpse of it, one frame that I can actually see it in, and then the GoPro died, so that was the end of that. But appreciate you guys riding along for our first visit. Hopefully you return with us. I've got videos of our second time and our third, or maybe it was our third and our fourth, but we brought his little brother along, who's a pretty charismatic young man and is quite fun to be around. So he'll have some footage to share in, as well as I have some more time with the chest mount, and I take some more jumps, push the bike a little harder, end up riding in the pitch black at night because we ran out of light. So all kinds of good stuff. Hit the subscribe button, the little bell, make sure you don't miss it, and hit that like. It really helps the channel. Thank you, and I will catch you guys next time.